Tonight, the supremacy between Francophone and Anglophone countries denied Kenya's candidate Raila Odinga victory in Saturday's AUC election. Well, according to analysts, solidarity among Arabic and Islamic states gave Mahmoud Youssof victory, and geopolitics, especially in the wake of the conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Raila's age, as well as his status as a statesman, worked against him. Is this the case? Of course, as always, from the from the first time we began this conversation on the AUC chairmanship, yes, a tongue twister. And of course, Apollo Kamau has been on standby on that other side, keeping us up to speed, and he is still there. Apollo, if you can hear me, do you suppose that these arguments that pundits are making then hold water? Are they anything to go by now that you've been there on ground and evidently witnessed the process all through?
Good evening, Linda, from AU headquarters here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where the Kenyan camp is reflecting tonight in the wake of Saturday's loss to Djibouti after Mahmoud Youssof garnered 33 votes in the 7th round to defeat Kenya's candidate Raila Odinga. Today we caught up with Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi to explain more about this. And when we spoke to him, he told Kenyans to stop speculating, and the country has moved on, and Kenya is not bitter.
We are not bitter. We are a Kenyan nation, a member of the AU, participating in the process. And Honorable Raila put up a very good fight in this contest. He didn't win, but he has been very democratic and come forward himself to say, let us move on. This chapter is now closed. And we must now look beyond this. I think we should be looking at the gesture of President William Ruto to speak on the floor and recognize the process, congratulate the victor, and concede defeat in a positive manner. That is the principle of democracy that we are trying to institute in Africa. Kenya never issued an official statement as the government of Kenya to blame the Anglophone and what have you. Let us distinguish between Kenyans airing their opinion and a government position. The Kenya government has never issued a statement, has it? Because we are not in the business of dividing Africa on the basis of Anglophone and Francophone, or the other one, Russophone, which is the Portuguese direction. We are in the business of talking Africaphone.
This campaign, from the word go, has brought out the rivalry between the Francophone versus the Anglophone countries. And yesterday's vote brought out the fact that Francophone countries were more united in their resolve. Remember, most of the Francophone countries are largely Islamic, and they are mostly Arabic, and therefore they did stand behind their candidate in their resolve to make sure he becomes the next chair of the Africa Union Commission, taking over from the former chair, Musa Faki.
Let's put it this way, I don't think it's Kenya that lost this election. It is the capacity, the background, and the commitment of the candidates that would be more appropriate to talk about when you talk about elections. For one, the candidates have gone through interviews that was quite public. The questions were offered to them, and they have answered the questions. The second thing, this kind of elections very often take place on a regional bloc, on the relationship between different countries. So the fact that Youssof was, one, he is Francophone. Number two, he speaks Arabic, and Djibouti is a member of the League of Arab States. And therefore, this kind of issues tend to play when it comes to the decision-making at the last moment, especially going up to the 7th round. Francophone are very, very serious about this. They had several meetings here in Addis Ababa before the elections. They had even a special grand gala at the Sheraton for the Francophone countries. So this is where elections come to play. And therefore, with a lot of Francophone countries, with a lot of Arabic-speaking countries, in Northern Africa especially, that makes a lot of sense that Youssof could win.
This vote couldn't have come at a worse time for Kenya, given the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has reawakened geopolitics. For example, we had South Africa versus Rwanda fighting off over DRC. We had President Felix Tshisekedi not trusting this peace process. And then we had that letter from South Africa directing SADC countries to take a common position and vote for Richard James of Madagascar. Now, analysts say that might have affected this vote and swung it in the favor of Mahmoud of Djibouti.
Lakini nadhani asilimia kubwa yaliyojitokeza ni yametokana na dynamics za geopolitics kwenye eneo letu. Mfano sasa hivi masuala ya Congo DRC, ukiangalia hayo malumbano, majibizano kati ya Rwanda, Afrika Kusini na Congo, kidogo pale huwezi puuzia kwamba ile haikuathiri mwenendo mzima wa uchaguzi huu.
Apart from the geopolitics on the issue of the DRC conflict, here in East Africa, we are learning that the Democratic Republic of Congo did not vote for Kenya, Somalia did not vote for Kenya, but we understand that Tanzania stood with Kenya to the last minute. And in the final vote, we are told there were 2 abstentions, and those 2 abstentions, one of them was from President William Ruto, and the other one was from Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu.
It could be, to some degree, because Kenya is very much involved in the DRC. I know President Ruto now is the chair of the AAC, the East African Economic Community. The second thing is Rwanda is alleged to be playing a big role in this conflict, and Rwanda aligns itself with the East African community. South Africa is more friendly to the DRC, I guess, but the point is this could be, and also former President Kenyatta was involved in a great...
Tetesi ni nyingi mule ndani ambazo zimechangia, na mimi sitaki kwa Kiswahili nasema speculate, sitaki nizungumuze bila ushuhuda, lakini naamini Uganda ilikuwa inamusupport baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Uganda 100%, hilo halipingiki. Sasa dakika za mwisho hapa dynamics zimebadilika, huwezi jua nchi wanachama wengine kura zao zimeendaje.
The issue that political observers are also watching tonight is how or where this leaves Odinga and President William Ruto as 2027 is concerned. Remember, we had that press conference this morning by MPs led by our House Minority Leader, that is in the National Assembly, Junet Mohammed. We had Aaron Cheruiyot leading the Senate majority, thanking President William Ruto for standing with him in this process since the campaigns up until yesterday's vote.
To start with, we want to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency President William Ruto, for the unwavering support he and his government gave to this contest of Honorable Odinga in the AU elections. And in this regard, again, we call upon all Kenyans to prepare to accord His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga a well-deserved, rousing welcome upon his return. His exemplary leadership and sacrifices in the service of Africa are a source of immense pride for our nation.
That's all, Linda, from here at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia tonight. Back to you in studio.
Thank you, Paulo, for that comprehensive report.